It's evening. Sun's starting to go down. It's 5:20. I just saw the mailman out front, so I'll wait a little bit and I'll go check the mail. And I just put laundry in about a half an hour ago, which is a little bit unusual. I don't usually do laundry this late, but my basket was full enough that I was like, oh, I might as well do it. So I'll go get that and I'll hang it up to air dry and I'll get my mail and see what's in there. We have one more day left in the month. We roll over into June. Does anybody have a June birthday? Anybody have a family member that has a June birthday, or do you have a June anniversary? Is there something big? Anybody have a wedding coming up? I got a text. I just got my bath. Let me know if there's something big coming up in June for you guys. I just got my Epsom salt and lavender bath. The whole apartment smells like lavender oil. My eye's going to water now. So I just have to wash my face yet. And I need to set Zazen. And I just fixed a coffee in my You're the Bee's Knees cup. I had some coffee earlier, but it was like I drank part of it. And then I did something else. And then the ice melted. You know, one of those deals. May the 30th. May the 30th. Many years ago, this was my brother and his wife's wedding anniversary. The following day, my brother passed away back in 2002. So it's been 22 years. He was just 50 years old when he passed. I've got to wipe my eye. It's the left eye, you guys. You guys know my left eye is the one that decides to water the minute I put my phone on. So, got my shower. Got my PJs ready. I just had dinner. I made up a bunch of hamburgers. I had what I wanted. I put the rest in a container. I set up the coffee pot for tomorrow. I brewed a pot of coffee today and let it cool, and I put it in the fridge. I went to the grocery store on the corner. I spent $41. I got some grapes, some bananas, a little piece of watermelon, and strawberries. And I got 2 bags of salad mix. I got a couple other, broccoli. I got broccoli. I'm just going to have broccoli one day, just broccoli or something. And I got some raspberry cold tea, raspberry iced tea. Instead of the green tea, I got raspberry tea. So I won't need to go to the store again for a while. Again, and I got milk. I went in to get milk because I ran out of milk between the carnation and my cereal. I ran out of milk. So I went in for milk. And while I was there, I grabbed the tea, and I needed some more fruit because I was completely out of fruit. So I grabbed a few things there. And it only takes like 10 items to spend $40, right? I got a response from Sensei. I just emailed him back and asked for a June 4th at 10 a.m. appointment to talk with him. I really need to talk to a spiritual leader. Like, I'm going through something right now that I can't talk about with anybody but a spiritual leader. Like, that's how big it is. That's how much it's messing with me. Like, really. Hang on. So I was thinking about, I didn't put enough of something in there. What am I missing? French vanilla? Am I missing French vanilla? That's better. I just didn't have it stirred. I was thinking a lot about people saying, because I've gotten the whole spectrum of when I'm going to get beyond this, or if I'm ever going to get beyond losing my partner. I've gotten, you're never going to get over it. it never gets easier. It'll get easier with time. It'll get gentler with time. You'll never forget them, but you won't cry. You'll have good memories. 20 years later, I'm still in pain. Grief will jump up when you least expect it, and you'll be in tears. Like, I've heard everyone's version of how long it's going to take to get over or through or beyond or whatever grief. I have watched so many grief videos. Like, there are so many people in YouTube land that have lost their partner. So many. There's so many of us. We're like a colony of ants. And I was thinking a lot about his death, and in time, it'll get easier. And I was just thinking over my life, and I was thinking of memories of things, places, schools, houses that I lived in, schools I went to, and where my memory is. Like, I went to 4 elementary schools. Between kindergarten and grade 6, 4 different elementary schools, because we moved. 3 of those schools I really cannot remember. Other than remembering the outside of the school, I have no idea what the inside looked like, what my classroom was like, nothing. One of the schools I remembered, I was on a bus and we went over this bridge, this metal bridge. I remember the playground. One of the schools, I remember the building really well because it was local to me and I drove by it a lot. So it's like kind of stuck in my head, let's see, the third school, I really can't remember at all other than the outside of the building and having a pretty big parking lot. And I was thinking about houses I lived in. I lived in 4 houses between the ages of birth and 13. And only 2 of those houses do I have like really distinct memories. The other 2 I have bits and pieces. Like, I remember a neighbor lady who was really sweet. I remember the corner store. I remember the bully girls across the street, the bullies. I remember the backyard where the swimming pool liner broke and all the water came down into the neighbors and our basement. But like the house itself, no memory. No memory of the inside of either of 2 of the houses I lived in. The one house, I remember the yard. It was a big yard with a metal chain link fence. So the first time that I lived in a house that had a fence and a gate, the girl across the street, her mom pierced my ears with a needle. So her name was Debbie, my friend, her name was Debbie. I remember that house was modern and it had like, you went down some steps, so it had like a lower area, but that's it. And so when I think about my teachers, I can only remember 2 teachers. I can only remember 2 teachers out of all of my teachers. I remember an English teacher in 9th grade, and I remember a biology teacher in 8th grade. That's it. So I'm realizing that with time, memory fades. And how important were the things that you remember? How important were they to you at that time? My biology teacher, she was just cool. She was just cool and funny, and she was like a hippie. And I just loved her. We all just loved her. And she was a scuba diver, and she used to bring in slides and show us the slides of her and her boyfriend scuba diving. And my English teacher, he loved how I wrote. And he told me that if I kept writing, someday I was going to publish a book. So his compliment to me stuck. And his name was Mr. Moyer. And he was cute also, so I had a little crush on him. But if you think over your life, how many memories do you have? Vacations, which ones stuck out in your mind? Family arguments. Where did you go to the grocery store? What meals did you have? Like, what sticks in your mind? And so I think the longer we go into life, the things that weren't important, the things that didn't hit us like a ton of bricks, we don't remember. We don't remember. they go because they weren't important. And so I'm thinking about my memories with Sky, and I blurred out most of those last 5 days of his life. Like, it was 5 days, but it feels like it was like one half a day all squashed together. And I think the all of the years that he was ill, that I was helping him, they all seemed like they came in with like 1 week. Like 1 week. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I was getting text after text after text after text from my son. He is being transported by ambulance to the local hospital from this urgent care place to get this cyst drained, and then they most likely will keep him overnight, and then we'll see from there. I'm having my coffee. So as I was saying, when I think about my life, there's only certain things that stand out in my life. Like, I've lived almost 65 years. I should have, and well, I don't want to say probably do, but I should have millions of memories, millions of memories. I mean, I've made millions of memories. Basically, every single thing I've done in my life is a memory, right? So why do I only remember certain things? Why do only certain things stick out in my mind? Why? Because they were important. Because either it was something that scared me half to death, or it was something that made me incredibly happy, or it was I got a good beating from one of my ex-husbands, or something. So time goes on, time goes on, time goes on. Those memories, those really good, really bad, they stay with me. The older I get, they're still there. They're still as sharp and as clear. So with Sky, I have certain memories. I have the day I met him. He drove from Tennessee to Virginia. I drove from Pennsylvania to Virginia. We met in Bedford, Virginia. And I was so nervous. And we were texting as I was getting closer, and I pulled up to where we were meeting, and I was putting my key in my pocketbook, and he said, "I'm here." And I said, "Where?" And he said, "Right in front of you." And I looked up through the windshield, and there he was standing with the biggest smile on his face. And he looked so handsome. He looked so handsome. I just was like, his hair was down to his waist. He had the whitest hair, and it was all the way down to his waist, and a full beard and a mustache. Wireframe glasses, and what I remember is they were broken, and he had them taped. And I just remember that. And our first evening together, that evening together. And we sat outside wrapped in a blanket, and we had goblets of wine, and we were watching a full moon. And it was just romantic, and it was wonderful. And I was loving every minute of it. And when we parted the next day, we both were crying. So, like, there are things I remember so clearly. That was a good thing. There was a couple bad things that I really remember. We had an argument. We were supposed to go on vacation to Tennessee for a week. He left and didn't take me. He left me home. I'm laughing about it now, but that was a long week. And the first time him and I went out, we went to our local museum, my local museum. He put on his dress pants, a dress shirt, and a tie. And he looked, oh my God, he was so handsome. I could just eat him up. He was so handsome. And he was so interested in all the fossils and things because he was an archaeologist. And for a long time. So I have these memories. And I have the memory of him getting sick and vomiting before he went into his coma. I remember him falling, like, you know, he's in the hallway and then down he goes. And it's like, it's etched in my head. I remember the look on his face when I realized he was dead. I'll never forget how he looked. So in time, the memories that I already have let go of, because they were everyday memories. You know what I mean? They were everyday memories. They were the ordinary cup of coffee, have a sandwich, do the laundry kind of memories. Those memories I don't think about them. I don't think about them. But there's these specific ones that are always going to stay with me. And if it was a good one, I'm glad for it. And if it was one of the bad ones, it's going to stay with me too. So it's not really a matter of time, because I can go back to when I was 5 or 6 years old and remember my brother getting stuck under a car he was working on. That didn't fade with time. That's stuck in my brain. So I believe we go through these memories, certain memories, and they stay with us forever, no matter how much time goes by. No matter how much time goes by. So it comes down to me just constantly working on myself. Like I said, I just got my Epsom salt and lavender bath, and there's something about Epsom salt and lavender. It's heavenly. It's just heavenly. And it's so helpful to me. But I am gonna be the one to say that I'm feeling the loneliness. I watched a woman this morning. I think their channel name is Silver and Solo, or Solo and Silver. I'm not sure which. And she is living by herself, and she loves it, and she has a channel. And everybody commenting. And she did a video. It was called something like the 9 Reasons Why I Love Living Alone, or something like that. And so I was listening to her, and all the comments were all women who live alone and who love it. Like, I was with my husband for blah, blah, blah years, and I never again, blah, And then there's me. And I'm like, I'm a widow of 13 weeks, and I miss him to pieces, and I wish he was with me, and I'm not, I don't like living alone. So something like I don't remember exactly what I put, but I'm the minority, I guess, or something. I don't know. Yeah, there are people that just love it. They just love living alone. I'm adapting. Like I said in other videos, I'm getting routine. I have a routine. I have a different routine than I had when Sky was alive. I have a routine in the evening. I have a routine in the kitchen. I have a routine now in the store. I more know what I'm going to go to pick up to buy. I know what I'm not going to even look at anymore. I don't look at the puddings. I don't look at the yogurts. I just don't. The only yogurt I buy is when I go to Walmart. I get the Equate brand vanilla Greek yogurt. That's the only yogurt I will eat. But he ate all kinds of yogurt. I don't look at the oatmeal anymore. There are things that coffee ice cream. I will never buy coffee ice cream again, because it was his favorite, and I would just be crying like a baby. I won't even look at it. But I'm in a rhyme and rhythm of my life, being here on my own. But I'll tell you what, I hate every second of it. I'm not meant to be alone. I don't like it. It's not my jam. It's not for me. And there's stuff happening in my life that I have to talk to someone. I have to talk to a spiritual person. I have to talk to someone that I know that everything that I need to get out will stay with that person. Yeah. So tomorrow's the last day of the month. And we roll into June. I don't even know how I feel about June. For me, there's my sister-in-law has a birthday. My late father-in-law had a birthday in June. But other than there's Flag Day and then Father's Day, I'll send cards out for the boys for Father's Day. But the this guy was an amazing father. I'll put something on his obituary site for Father's Day. But and summer starts in June, right? 30 days. And life goes on. And I just keep pushing forward. I'm trying harder and more. I'm putting more effort into myself, my body, getting my baths, getting my showers, using my lavender oil, using my castor oil on my neck, shampooing my hair with the Batana oil shampoo. It's okay. I like it, but I got they're like sample bottles for $3 something. And I would have to order more because I have one more shampoo and one more conditioner left. And I've got 3 bottles of regular shampoo. So I will not go out and spend more money on shampoo when I have shampoo. So we'll start the month over. We'll start the whole month of new bills, the bills for the month. And I just keep moving forward. But I wanted to talk about memories and what you guys think. What are your thoughts on the way I expressed about memories? Can anybody agree with that? Does that make sense? That the stuff that sticks in us is stuff that was really, really either traumatic or it's just so amazingly wonderful that you can remember crystal clear. But then all these other things you did in your life, no matter whether you're 20 or you're 70, you did thousands and millions of things. How many of those millions do you remember? And it's not a time thing. I can't tell you everything I did last week. Not every single thing. I can't tell you. If something really big happened that stuck out in my head, then I can remember that. But I think it all comes down to how big the memory grabbed us as to whether we hold on to it and how quickly we let go of the rest of the memory. I still can't believe he's gone. I know he's gone. I know he's never coming back. He's never walking in the door. He's never getting out of the car with his lunchbox. He's never going to wave up the window at me. He's never going to text me. He's never going to ask for coffee ice cream again. He's never going to ask me to shave him again. He's never going to do any of those things again because he's gone from me. I got to share in his life for 13 and a half years. That was my time. And then move on. So now what do I do? That's to be figured out. Down the road, I hope to meet someone. Yeah, I do. But boy, oh boy, it would be really hard to meet someone that I would even have even the closest same feelings as I did for Sky. And I know that's, if I keep that thinking in my head, it's going to create problems for me, But that's just the way I feel. This man that I just lost, he was something. He was something. He was sometimes I just loved him to pieces, and other times I just shook my head where did you come up with that? Or what? He did some things that just drove me crazy. He brushed his teeth once a day. That drove me nuts. I'm like, brush your teeth at night. Well, I'll brush them in the morning. They were just little things. And I'm like, why do you scrape the yogurt container until there's nothing in it? It's it's empty. Give me it. I'll give you a second one. His phone would ring. He would never answer it. Never answer it. He's like, if they want me, they'll leave a message. They're calling me. I'm not calling them. That's how he was. If he needed to do something, he said, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. It'll be there. I'll get to it like in a time like when a flower opens up. He would say stuff like that. Oh, I got to go. I'm going to finish my coffee. I'm going to, maybe tonight I'll put the TV on. I've been saying it every night and I haven't done it, but maybe I should put it on and see if I can grab a hold of Hulu. And see what's on. I don't know, but thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being my friends. Thank you for being my family. Thank you for just supporting me and lifting me up. Thank you for sharing more than anything. Thank you for sharing what you've gone through. Because this isn't just about me. This is about your losses, your gains, your special moments, your adversities, your illnesses, I've had a really bad day, the ups and downs of your life. Because we share this, we're a community. And I want to know about you. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know how your family is. I want to know if you're okay. How's work going? How's the family? How's your life? What's the weather like? What do you got planned? What's going on? Is something really wrong? Are you able to work through it? Is something bothering you? Are you okay? Are you like really okay? Do you need someone to reach out to you? Do you need to talk to someone? All that. Comments. That's why I have comments. I love you guys.